Hi guys, my name is Karthik and I'm from executeautomation.com, and this is part 11 of our automated build deploy test with Team Foundation Server 2015 and Selenium. And in this part, we'll be talking about continuous integration using Team Foundation Server 2015 and Selenium. So before watching this part, I would request you to watch part 10, since this part is going to be a continuation of that part. And this video series is a part of our ALM with Team Foundation Server video series. Alright, so for performing the continuous integration, let's flip to Team Foundation Server. So in the last video, we were discussing how to perform an automated build deployment and testing the application using Team Foundation Server 2015 and Selenium. And in this video, we'll be talking a little bit about exactly the same thing. We will be using the same build definitions and we'll be doing exactly the same stuff we did in the previous video. But here, I want to show you what is actually the continuous integration. But of course, in the previous video itself, we saw the concept of continuous integration. We saw how the test executed and how the test got passed while it deployed in a remote machine. But it is not exactly what happened in a real-time scenario. But in real-time scenario, the developer will actually do a code check-in of the application. The automated build will trigger and then it will do a build deployment in the remote machine and then the test will start. So let's do this. As you can see in the Visual Studio, we are expecting for the click login, meaning we are expecting for a login link to be clicked in a remote machine. So let me open the remote machine and let me open the browser and let's go to the localhost. And you can see there is a login link. So we are clicking this login link and only then we are entering the username and password there, right? So if we go to this particular method of the page object model based application that we have written. So if I go to F12 and then I can see that I have identified this control using this home page class. And within this home page class, I have a page object model to perform the operation of login, and this LNK login is responsible for clicking the login, right? So let this be aside and then let's go to my application source code. So I'm going to go to the execute auto employee, and here let's say I'm going to mimic like a developer who is going to do a breaking change in the application. So the login is actually sitting in the, I think it is there in the views, and within the views there is something called shared views, and within shared views we have something called partial view. So within this partial view we have this login action link, and within this action link we have specified the login link, and then there is a model which is going to perform the or the controller method which is going to perform the operation. So I think this is the one which is responsible for that. So I will just change this login to maybe without space login. So this is what your developer is going to do a breaking change, and he's going to save this. Let's quickly run this and see how your UI looks like after the change. So I'm just going to run this in my local machine. So you can see this is running in the IIS Express now. And you can see that the login this time don't have any space in it. So there was a log space in before the link text, right? But right now the link text is without any space in the log and in. It's log in, right? So this test is going to be failing this time. So I'm just going to close it and let's stop the debugging. And right now our test case, if you go to our test case in the employee test case, and let's go to the click login, and within this click login, this login link, and if you can see here, it is actually using the log space in, right? So this is what our test expectation. So what I'm going to do, let's say your developer is going to do a check-in of this code. He's going to do a very breaking change without even telling the tester, saying breaking change, and you testers, I mean we testers, don't know what is the change going to happen this time in this build. And the check-in has done, and let's say your test is automatically been triggered, which you can do using this trigger operation. So I'm going to check this box continuous integration, and then I'm going to save, and this is going to ask me for some comments there. So let's give a comment saying CI capability added, and I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to save this. All right, so it is saved already, and right now the test build definitions should trigger the build, but as of now there is no build trigger because right now we just enabled Let's go to the builds. So it is not triggered yet. So let's say I'm going to do one more small change and then check in the code. So let's go to the maybe this guy, and let's add a small comment somewhere else just to mimic. I'm gonna save it and added dummy comments to a check-in. There we go. And now your Visual Studio build should automatically trigger a build by now. Let's go to the queued, and you can see that there is a build being triggered. So if I just double click this, you can see that the same exact thing is happening behind the scenes. Let's close this browser. So right now it should do exactly the same thing. It should take the source, it should deploy the test case in a remote machine, and then run the test. All right, now we expect our test to fail actually, because the space between the login has been removed. Let's see how our page looks like. There we go. And you can see there is no space within the login. And now our test will super easily fail without identifying the actual control. Yep, there we go. So the test got failed. And now you know in the next morning that there is some breaking change happened in the application, and then the test got failed, right? So you can easily report this to your developer, and even your developer will be in the same page while the build fails, and even he can see the report. So if we go right here, and you can see that the test got failed, and if you just go to the maybe to the test, and then if we go to the runs, and you can see this run ID 43. So this is the latest one which executed. So I'm going to just double click and open this, and you can see it failed. And also you can see what is the report. So you can see this report either online or however you want to. So there is something called as test results. So you can just double click this, and you can see what is the exception. So the exception is the element not found exception, and the exception happened in the line number 27. So there is a stack trace which explains to you that this is the failure. And if you want a offline report, then you can easily see the offline report using the TRX file. So whatever you want to do, you can do using this Team Foundation Server's continuous build integration as well. So that's it, guys. So this is the complete video series of our build, deploy, and test using Team Foundation Server 2015 and Selenium. So you can leverage the power of our Selenium automation framework, which we developed and discussed in the Udemy course. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this series, and have a great day.